Welcome to Just the Facts. I'm Alex.
And I'm Ben. Today we're doing something that feels, well, pretty rare. Setting aside the political shouting match to look at hard numbers, red states versus blue states. What are the factual, measurable differences in how people live, work, and thrive?
Exactly. We're not here for opinions.
Nope.
We're here for data. So for this discussion, we're defining blue states as those that voted for the Democratic candidate in the 2024 election,
Okay.
and red states as those that voted Republican. And we've pulled the latest numbers on, well, everything from public safety to the size of your paycheck.
Let's dive right into one of the most contentious topics, crime.
Yeah.
Alex, the common political talking point is that Democratic-run areas are more dangerous. What does the data actually say?
Well, this is a perfect example of why we need to look past the headlines. According to analyses of recent FBI data, red states as a whole actually have a significantly higher murder rate than blue states.
Wow.
About 33% higher, in fact.
That is a shocking statistic, and it completely flips the common narrative.
Right?
But there's a critical layer of nuance here, isn't there? I mean, when you zoom in, a lot of the specific cities with the highest homicide rates are Democratic-run urban centers
Right.
that just happen to be located within those red states.
You've absolutely hit on the key takeaway. I mean, this isn't a simple red versus blue issue.
No.
It's a far more complex urban versus rural dynamic that just gets flattened into a political weapon. Okay, so let's follow the money. Who is funding the country?
This, to me, was the most eye-opening data of all. We looked at how much states pay in federal taxes versus how much they get back in federal funding.
Okay.
And the results they're stark. On average, blue states are the nation's primary economic engines, paying more into the federal pot than they take out.
Meanwhile, red states are, on average, net recipients. There's a Wallet Hub study that put this in sharp relief. For every single dollar Kentucky, a solidly red state, pays in federal taxes,
Get this.
The federal government gives it back $3.35.
$3.35. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have a blue state like New Jersey,
Right.
which gets back only a fraction of each dollar it sends to Washington. So when you hear about economic debates, it's essential to remember that blue states are in effect, financially subsidizing red states.
And this has a direct impact on the economy for individuals. Let's talk about wages. Generally, the data from the Census Bureau shows that blue states have higher median household incomes.
Right.
You know, a state like Massachusetts is near the top of the list with a median income around $99,900.
But, and this is the multi-million-dollar question, what can you actually do with that income?
Lating.
That higher salary in a blue state runs headfirst into a wall, and that wall is the cost of living.
It's the most important context. Let's use housing as our example. Recent data from Realtor.com shows the median home price in blue states is a staggering $554,000.
Wow.
In red states, it's a far more manageable $371,000.
So think about that. Your salary might be higher in a place like California,
Sure.
but your mortgage could be nearly double what it would be in a state like Tennessee. That higher salary can feel like a mirage when your single biggest expense is that much larger.
This is the core trade-off people are facing. It also applies to taxes. Red states, as you'd imagine, generally have a lower overall tax burden. Many, like Florida and Texas, proudly have no state income tax at all.
Whereas blue states like New York and California levy higher income and sales taxes. But it's crucial to ask, where does that tax money go? A huge portion of it is funneled into public services,
Right.
and the most prominent is education.
The data is very clear here. When you look at rankings for K-12 schools and public universities, blue states consistently dominate the top spots.
No surprise there.
A 2025 analysis of the most educated states by Wallet Hub shows the top 10 is almost entirely composed of blue states.
Wow.
Massachusetts leading the pack.
So to summarize, this is the choice in a nutshell. In blue states, you pay more in taxes, but that money often translates into better funded public schools and more robust social services. In red states, you keep more of your paycheck, but that comes with the trade-off of less state investment in those public systems.
So let's talk about putting that education to use. Curious, where are the jobs, the career opportunities?
This has become a fascinating tug-of-war. For decades, the high-paying knowledge economy jobs in tech and finance were concentrated in blue state hubs. But recently, we've seen explosive job growth in red states like Texas, Florida, and Idaho, driven by lower regulations and that affordability factor we mentioned.
At the same time, blue states tend to have much stronger labor laws. The minimum wage is often far higher, more than double the federal minimum in some cases, and they offer more protections for workers. Most red states are right-to-work states, which limits the power of unions and can suppress wage growth.
So to bring it all together, we're looking at two fundamentally different blueprints for life in America.
In a blue state, the model seems to be you can earn a higher salary and have access to top-tier schools and services.
What?
But you must be prepared for an incredibly high cost of entry, both in housing and taxes.
And in a red state, the model is one of accessibility. Your money goes much further, housing is affordable, and the government takes a smaller slice of your income. The trade-off might be lower average wages and a public sphere with fewer resources. Neither is definitively right or wrong, they are simply different.